Alright guys, TacticalRab back again today. Hope you're all doing well and enjoying your day so far, and it has been a very long time coming, but finally competitive Call of Duty is back on the menu with the Kickoff Classic starting today. But the most interesting topic is certainly that OpTic Crimsix may well have been a thing here in 2022 if iLLeY and Shotzzy didn't have their say on the matter. Very much intriguing your thoughts in the comment section below. If you enjoyed the video, hitting a like button is the best thing you can do. Top of the channel, reach new people, please do subscribe as well if you have not yet already. Loads I'm sure you guys do not want to miss this coming weekend. Big red button. You guys know how it works. Firstly, just to mention this real quick, breaking point, the fantasy that we're doing this weekend is not the most spectacular thing you've ever seen in the world, but if you want to get involved in this, effectively pick your 4 players, $25 budget. Like, the budget might not be perfect because it's first event of the season, so some of the players that haven't played before, difficult to assign them a budget really, or difficult to assign them a price, but yeah, 1 player per franchise team. Get involved, link in the pinned comment after, of course, you've watched this fantastic video. I believe my pick'ems were Simp, Capsidel, Kenny, and Pred, I think I went for. Not the greatest team, I imagine. I'm sure you guys can do better than that. But well, who knows what's going to happen this weekend. Few updates, first of all, on Vanguard. To the credit of the Sledgehammer guys, seems like they are somewhat more on the ball here in 2022 than they were at the end of last year. So they've changed some of the CDL settings again. Some of this stuff is correct, actually. So, for example, the respawn delay timer, that's been a big frustration that the pros, when they enable the CDL rules, they have to change them themselves manually because the CDL rules aren't correct based on the respawn delay they're using. And these other things they've now fixed. This also was stated right here that in ranked matches, all kill streaks except artillery and cruise missile are restricted. So, you know, kind of some wording that implies ranked plays coming kind of soon with, of course, the same settings that these are having as well. And maybe these updates are kind of gearing up for ranked play to actually be launched right, rather than, you know, really focused on the fact that there's an event starting later today. This also that Crane mentions, the glide bomb is now a 7 kill streak with the CDL rules enables, wasn't mentioned in the patch notes. Now, interestingly enough, this is just a classic. I can't believe they do this every single time, but, you know, somehow it's meant to be a 7 kill streak, but it's still listed as a 5 streak, as in it still doesn't work properly, right? People say the glide bomb's kind of, even though right now Flak Jacket saves you from it, it seems, but it's still meant to be a 7 streak now, but it is still only a 5 streak. I don't really know how they managed to get this wrong, but maybe in time they'll fix this one as well. So I just thought it was pretty entertaining, honestly. Just classic stuff, really. Every single time they do an update, there's something they managed to still get wrong, but good to see things are changing in the right direction anyway. And this also that came out, so Daniel Sai, of course, we looked at what he had to say a few days ago in the community update they did, and I was kind of wondering, okay, when's the update going to happen about this Maven and Merc situation? And of course, I kind of want to move on from that for now, but understandably, he didn't really address that one in this article. But in fairness, there are some positive things in here, really what it means for the league. We looked yesterday about the Season 2 delay, like what's going to happen on that front. Now, you know, unfortunately, this means that some of the things we were hoping would be in the game very soon might get pushed back by a couple of weeks. But as they say in the article, still ranked play is going to come in February, so I'm pretty sure similar timing, I guess, to last year, end of Feb sometime, ranked play is going to arrive. But I mean, yeah, apparently it's going to come in February. So I guess better late than never, but like every single year, like we complained last year that it was too late, and this year it's coming at the same time pretty much. It's like, you know, maybe it would be 2 weeks earlier if the Season 2 push wasn't delays, but still, it's not exactly ideal. We also get this with regard to team skins. Due to Vanguard Season 2 being delayed, team skins will not be available during the first few weeks of the season, so I'm guessing they were meant to be launched right when the season started, at the start of February, but I guess because it's been pushed back by a couple of weeks, the team skins won't be there. If they look like last year's, I'm going to be kind of fuming. Like, surely they can upgrade them to some degree from what we came up with last year, like just super generic stuff, but maybe they can make them better. I don't know, maybe they just copy and paste them from last year. It's going to be frustrating if FaZe and like Los Angeles Thieves, in terms of the weapon camos, just look exactly the same as each other pretty much and don't have any of the actual logos on them, right? Because that's the point. Like, you paid this $25 million, you'd expect to at least have your logo on the camo that's in the game. We'll see how they perform on that front. Let's talk about then the LAN that kicks off today. As Scum says, first day of school for us, back to a LAN environment. It has been a long time coming for a lot of these players. Like Methods, he mentions it here in a few minutes time, that this is the first LAN he's played pretty much in 2 years, right? Because of course getting dropped, and the online era that we had at the start of last year, it was a difficult time. But everything is back in business this weekend, and it is fantastic to see. But this came out yesterday, just a phenomenal piece of content from the OpTic guys, a roundtable effectively. They get a load of Call of Duty legends and the current guys to sit kind of in a roundtable type format, just talking about how things went in Call of Duty. And when I clicked on this link, I was expecting a video that was like an hour and a half long. That's the only negative of this video, is it's only 20 minutes long. I gotta listen to these guys talk about stuff for hours. Maybe they have like more of this and they're gonna release it in later cuts at later stages. I don't know what they're thinking, but still, I'm sure they'll do more of these in the future, right? Because I thought it was just fantastic looking at the generations from the OpTic legends of the early 2010s, like the likes of Big Timer and you know, Rambo, for example, then to the kind of current generation. But one of the things that was mentioned here, very interesting indeed, was how this team formed going into this upcoming season. Interesting time really to be discussing it, especially because well, the season I guess starts kind of today. It is technically the preseason, but it's an event, and some people may well count it as a championship victory. Now, the plan was when OpTic and Dallas were going to be merging into OpTic Dallas, as it was at the time, then it ended up being called OpTic Texas. It was only going to be Scump replacing Vivid on the team of Crimsix, iLLeY, and Shotzzy going into the new year. Now, and Scump was on a phone call, as he describes, with Crimsix for like 45 minutes after Champs was over, discussing the possibility. I guess Crimsix kind of sold him it as a good idea, and they seem to be pretty keen to actually go on with it, right? And a lot of you guys have commented on the documentary we did a year or so ago about the Crimsix and Scump kind of, well, drama that they had, that the friendship that they had into the drama and the rivalry that has been created. A lot of people said, hey, they should team up one more time and try and win Champs. Now, that almost happened, it seems, if it wasn't for iLLeY and Shotzzy and the frustrations they had with teaming with Crimsix the last year or so. The Rambo goes on to say, yeah, actually, it was probably going to be Crim, but iLLeY and Shotzzy said, look, you know, we've had enough of Crim, to be honest, and we decided to get Dashy in instead.
And apparently Crim almost played for OpTic again. What happened with that?
Don't talk to me, I got dropped.
Alright, so here's how it happened. We were talking about potential business moves, where the company was going, yada, yada, yada. Envy was one of the options. So we lost to Champs, and I instantly was told Envy now is merging with us.
Right.
So I was like, what the does that mean? And this sucks for Matt, because Matt was on the team.
You were collateral.
Yeah. Matt, honestly, Matt and Dylan, I felt so bad for them because it was a roster move that we didn't want to make.
Not that bad.
And it just, they kind of got caught in the crossfire, but whatever. So yeah, I found out right after Champs, we got 6th place. I was heated. Hector's like, Envy is now merging with us. And I said, so what does that mean for the team? And he's like, well, now we've acquired their players, and Crim was obviously one of their players. And so
That would have been so trolly.
So I get on a call with Crim for like 45 minutes outside on like Sunday night. Like, and this is after watching like FaZe win, and I was
Sunday
pissed.
night of Champs?
But yeah, we talked on the phone for like 45 minutes and just talking about like what's gonna happen, you know, how's the team gonna work and all that. And I was like, I'm coming in, I don't want to intrude. It was just supposed to be me.
Right. But you were going to be the only one.
Yeah, it was just supposed to be
OpTic
me
team?
and iLLeY and Crim.
Oh.
A lot of things happened last year with Porter on the team that weren't the ideal, I'd say, in some ways. And so when things were discussing, like Inder and Ant were very vocal about, you can speak to this as well, we're very vocal about how things didn't go the way they planned. They didn't really see how things were kind of be fixed. There's a lot of problems that they saw, issues with how things went with Porter last year that didn't really go through again. And that's when the decision was made to kind of like move forward and have set. And then obviously Brandon, great player, great mind, and everyone was super excited about having him on board. And
so it would have been quite incredible if after all this, Scump and Crimsix were once again on the same team and Crim was back on OpTic going into this new year. I mean, after the drama that's happened the last couple, but again, iLLeY and Shotzzy, I guess, have made their opinions known. The Crimsix, we heard about him, turning up late to practice. Maybe the way he dealt with himself in certain situations wasn't ideal. He's admitted that himself, and that may have costed him the chance, in effect, to get back on OpTic and keep teaming with those guys. And Dashy's now in the spot that he could have had, and Scump seemed to be kind of down for, right? So kind of incredible how things go behind the scenes in COD. But as they say, new season, same Porter, here he is, going into 2022. Definitely exciting seeing him on New York alongside Clayster. Just like, well, the storylines don't get too much better than this, to be honest, for the new season. Just wish the game and some of the other stuff was better, and we'd have a cracking time ahead of us. But I'm sure we're going to do our best to make it a good season regardless. This also goes Crimsix going rogue against the Call Leggy to League, and understandably so for this one. Like, I don't understand what they're thinking here. The movement from Neptune, they say. Now, it's very clearly right here that he's in a bot lobby. Like, I guess I'll make it slightly bigger for you guys. I can actually just go full screen for a second. Like, these are very clearly bots that he's shooting. And okay, yeah, the movement, the slide cancel is kind of nice, but you can see on the minimap there's like 18 bots on the map. Like, he's literally playing bots, and I don't understand what they're thinking. Half the video is just their kind of like advertising thing that they put at the end of these anyway. So I don't know what's going on. As Crim says, you need to be fired, right? And what's going on here? I don't understand this. There was also this from the Minnesota Rokkr yesterday. They were kind of roasting the league as well, because this might be the skins, I'm guessing, that the pros are going to be using this weekend, because there's no team skins yet in the game. Classic stuff. But as they say, now release the skins that are going to disappoint everyone. They release this one, everyone's laughing. They ended up deleting this because, well, I guess, I don't know, like, is the social media manager going to get fined or something? I don't understand it. But still, like, this is what they released. I thought it was pretty funny. There was also this from the Mutineers, so everyone's getting roasted lately, it seems. Los Angeles Guerrillas, our first matches tomorrow. So Mutineers back in business with the social media bangers right as soon as the new season starts. Because, of course, last year when Huke spelt his name wrong, right, for the testing stuff, with the Kyler with the W at the end, Predictions. And I mean, yeah, they're kind of having a joke about that, right? If you need help filling out the test, we got you covered, right, for the new season. So obviously, I guess they want a fair match tomorrow with that Huke having to drop to the sub bench. Not even sure who they'd bring in that case. I guess Spart's actually their substitute right now for the new season. This also, speaking of Los Angeles, Guerrillas thought this was kind of cool. Maybe some more watch parties coming up this season, some kind of co-streams, right? Now, whether the CDL allows the co-streams to quite the extent that some of the other games do, that is somewhat unlikely. But if you get permission to do it, I guess Los Angeles Guerrillas have been able to do that. They're bringing on aBeZy, they've got Unrational, Dirty, and Cinder as well is going to be there. So, well, for a Kickoff Classic watch party, I guess for their first match, and maybe beyond that as well. So I thought it was kind of cool to see. Definitely the more of this, the better, I imagine, at the present time. And let's talk then about the games going on today. So as Method says, 2 years later, back on stage tomorrow. So kind of incredible how long it's been for Methods really being, well, on a main stage, right? Because last year, the end of last year, didn't get to compete. So a lot of these guys haven't played on LAN since the start of Modern Warfare, for example. So Method is certainly in that boat, and he is playing today up against New York. These are the day one scheduled matches. Now, this is very late in the UK, right? It's kind of a shame. I thought they might start this an hour earlier, a couple of hours earlier, just because I think the regular season is slightly more forgiving. But for whatever reason, this major, like for UK time, this match is at 1:30 in the morning. So it's not exactly ideal, especially if you're a Paris fan and you live in Paris, which there's probably not too many of. But still, the London game at least is kind of earlier. It's at 10:30 at least our time. And these are the timings you guys can work out your time zone from there. So anyway, Los Angeles Guerrillas versus Florida. That's a pretty interesting one. Like, all these matches are interesting, right? We haven't really seen Vanguard played on that at all, so we really don't know how things are going to go. I think most people would say that LAG are favourites here, at least on paper, then Seattle in this one. This one is really tough to call, I think, Boston versus New York, because Boston, in theory, have been looking better as of late, at least in their hard points in scrims that we have seen. But New York have more LAN experience. Like, I might be tempted just to go with New York as like a 55-45 favourites, because I think that maybe like on LAN in front of a crowd, things might be a little bit different for the Boston guys. A couple of guys there that haven't really played on LAN before, so might be a different story to what we've seen behind the scenes in practice. And then Paris, Los Angeles Thieves. I think some people are saying that really Paris have a very decent chance in this series on current form, at least pre-season form. But I'm going to go with Thieves winning just because I hope that we get Thieves versus OpTic in the next round, to be honest. So that's what I'm hoping for, at least. But yeah, that's kind of my predictions on that. Also, just to mention as we close out the video, the plan tonight, I believe what I'm going to try and do, usually when the matches end, they'll be ending like 3 a.m. my time, so it's going to be tough, but I'm going to try and do this the whole season if it works. Instead of the games finish, I record the video, edit it, upload it, then go to bed. Like, and what I'm going to do instead, I think, is just live stream it straight to YouTube as soon as the match is finished. So as soon as the match is finished, I'll just live stream the recap, and then talk to the chat for a few minutes as well afterwards, and then just close the stream, go to bed. I think that'll make more sense, to be honest. Gets everything up on YouTube a bit quicker, and I can interact with you guys a little bit as well in the chat, and then there's plenty of time to go and watch the flank. So I think that's going to be the plan. We'll see how it works. If there's technical difficulties, I guess we'll work it out over time. But very much intrigued to your thoughts on all this stuff in the comment section below. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did enjoy it, hit in a like button. Tell us the YouTube gods this is a good video. I just like you should see it as well, and help grow the competitive Call of Duty community. Thank you for watching as always. Take care, and we'll see you next time.